And hello everybody, welcome back to LFC News. Guys, an interesting one here today, as you can read there in the title, some big developments coming out with regard to Ibrahima Konate. We've also got some big news with regard to Isak ahead of our clash at the weekend. So let's go through some of the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So guys, finally, an Alexander Isak return date has been confirmed as Arne Slot reveals the plan for the Liverpool striker. Slot has revealed when he expects Isak to be back with the Liverpool squad. He has confirmed that he is expected to return to the first team squad in late March or early April. The progress of the striker has obviously been sidelined since December 20th with a broken leg, but was recently stepped up his rehabilitation by working with the ball. While Sweden hope to have him fit for the World Cup playoff against Ukraine on March 26th, Slot has warned it may take some time to reach full match sharpness. So we're looking right now that Isak's going to be returning late March, early April, and it will be a sake of literally managing him, making sure he's not playing too much football, but this should be seen as a huge boost. He's not really got going, Isak. There's been glimpses of him of his sort of Newcastle form, but of course, unfortunate to pick up an injury. However, at least there is light at the end of the tunnel with regard to Isak, and it looks as though he could be on his way back sooner rather than later. End of March, early April. That will soon come around pretty quick and could be useful, but especially getting a few minutes here, managed minutes going into the end of the season, and then, of course, going into the summer. Let's hope he's not overplayed, but regardless, he should be ready to go, firing again come the end of the campaign, which is some good news on the Isak front. Now, an inside Liverpool source, fairly interesting, that of Mr. Gost, who is an inside Liverpool sort of, he's a fairly reputable source when it comes to like inside Liverpool updates and whatnot. But they've came out with an update this morning and said that Ibrahima Konate, it does indeed sound more promising on the Konate contract situation. I would agree. I was in the room with Arne Slot on Friday when he told us that the club remained locked in talks over a new deal, and it sounded fairly encouraging. So Gorst obviously pretty, optimistic on what's happening. Of course, we've had certain revelations come out that, of course, is getting to that point where Konate hasn't signed a contract and people are starting to think of the worst. However, of course, he has to, I suppose, do what's best for him. And if they're Real Madrid are there in the offing, then of course, then he's probably going to be going to them. However, there was a revelation with regard to Real Madrid that we did, of course, speak to you about in a previous video, saying that they weren't interested in the player. However, there's always different clubs that are in and around in that conversation when Konate's name comes up. PSG, another one as well as a Frenchman. That might be an attractive proposition. However, what's the consensus is from the inside Liverpool sources is that the talks are still ongoing. Liverpool have got the goal of tying him down to new terms, and it does look encouraging from our point of view. So it'll be one of those. We probably won't find out until a little bit later on, towards the end of the season, like all of our contract situation at the football club, like Mo Salah, like Trent, like Virgil van Dijk, like Mo Salah before, always lastminute.com with Liverpool. However, the inside consensus is that, of course, he will likely sign a new deal. Take of that what you believe, but do let me know your thoughts on this revelation down there in the comments. In other news, relations between Liverpool and Chelsea have deteriorated sharply in the wake of the Professional Football Compensation Committee's ruling over Rio Numoa, with tensions between the two Premier League heavyweights showing little sign of easing. Numoa's move to Anfield in the summer of 2024 was always likely to cause friction. Highly regarded within Chelsea's academy structure, the winger's decision to depart West London for Merseyside raised eyebrows across the game. While the PFCC has since awarded Chelsea a potential £6.8 million in compensation, the financial settlement has done little to soothe the sense of grievance felt at Stamford Bridge. Former Everton, Aston Villa, and Aberdeen chief executive Keith Wines believes the dispute has escalated beyond a routine compensation disagreement. In his view, the fallout has created a hostile atmosphere between the two clubs that extends beyond the boardroom. I think that they have got a real talent, Wines said. I think it sparked a war from what I'm hearing as well. Chelsea scouts are being banned from Liverpool games and different things. And there's talk of Chelsea going to target some of the Liverpool youngsters and their youth teams. Such claims underline just how strained the relationship has become. While tit-for-tat measures are not uncommon in elite football, they rarely spill so openly into the public domain. Wines, drawing on his own executive experience, suggested that these standoffs can become intensely personal before eventually subsiding. These things tend to go on for a little while, then they blow out and they blow over, he explained. I've been involved in a few of those sort of things, tit-for-tat sort of situations, but then personalities leave and different things go on and it gets back to normal. But I think there's no doubt that Chelsea have got every right to feel aggrieved, and Liverpool should be celebrating the fact they've got a talent like this at that sort of price. From Liverpool's perspective, the sense of vindication has only grown stronger as Numoa's development has accelerated. Still only 17, the winger has already delivered decisive contributions at senior level. His winner against Newcastle in August not only secured 3 points, but also saw him become Liverpool's youngest ever Premier League scorer. A landmark moment that amplified the scrutiny surrounding his transfer. In what has been an inconsistent campaign for Liverpool, Numoa has emerged as one of the few unqualified positives. His fearlessness in possession, direct running, and composure in front of goal have stood out in a side that has at times struggled for cutting edge. There is a maturity to his game that belies his age, and it is precisely that maturity which has heightened Chelsea's frustration. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has been quick to praise the teenager's mentality as well as his technical quality. Speaking to beIN Sports after the 3-2 victory over Newcastle on August 25, 2025, Slot highlighted the decisive nature of Numoa's finishing. He's a player that can finish really well for his age. How firm his shot was, you don't see this often for a 16-year-old, Slot said. I did hear someone afterwards in the dressing room, I won't say who, said they would have taken that ball, have a first touch, then finish it off. But he is so confident. That's what I like because the first ball he got, he wasn't afraid. He immediately took someone on. When the second player came, he got across him. And for him to score that goal is not completely a coincidence because for his age, he is an amazing finisher. Those remarks capture the essence of why this saga continues to resonate. Numoa is not merely a promising academy graduate, he is already influencing matches at the highest level. For Chelsea, that reality compounds the sense of loss. For Liverpool, it reinforces the belief that they have secured one of the country's most exciting young prospects at a comparatively modest cost. Whether the current hostility represents a short-term flare-up or a longer-term rivalry off the pitch remains to be seen. History suggests that, as once indicated, such disputes eventually cool as circumstances change. For now, however, the Numoa transfer stands as a flashpoint, a reminder that in modern football, the battle for elite young talent can be just as fierce as anything witnessed on the field. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.